I'm Grace Torrey, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl, Grace Torrey, and I am back with a whole new podcast episode. One thing about me is that I'm usually super on top of it when it comes to a new month. I usually have the vision board ready to go, which I literally haven't posted the September vision board yet. I'm going to get into that, but I am goal planning, setting everything up, getting my intentions set, and I literally forgot that it was a new month. I was sitting there trying to figure out what my topic for today was going to be, and I literally sat there for an hour and tried to come up with things, and then I realized it's September. And like I said, I haven't even done my vision board. At that point, I didn't even have pictures picked out, intention set, nothing for it, and I know like in my head what I want my goals to be for this month. I obviously have some big things planned out, but I totally forgot to set all those plans and write them down in all the things that I typically do. So I thought this month I would talk about ways that I am bringing in new goals. I thought this would also be a good time to announce what my big project I've been hiding from you guys is, because it's launching in I think 2 weeks from tomorrow, and all these exciting things. So without further ado, let's jump into our life update, and then we'll jump into the podcast episode. Nothing too crazy for a life update. College football season started back yesterday, which one thing about me is I grew up going to college football games. My dad was a big college football fan, so I went to like probably 2 to 3 games a season, but when he was home and games were on, that was a big deal in our house. And so I always kind of knew what college football season was. There was always a exciting energy in the house when it started, but my own excitement for college football season did not really grow until I went to college at an SEC school. So now that I have done that, and I still live 10 minutes away from the college, and most of my friends still do as well, college football season has a different ring to it. It means tailgating, it means bars, it means having fun, bonfires, day parties. I mean, it just has a new excitement. And yes, I am 24, so some of these things I'm no longer participating in, such as frat parties. Obviously, I'm not going to a frat party anymore, but you will still catch me at the bars. So yesterday we went tailgating at the stadium, and then we went to the bars, and it was really good to just hang out with friends and welcome this new season in the right way. That was fun. We were supposed to go out to the bars later that night with friends, but they ended up bailing, and I ended up falling asleep, so it's fine. It all worked out. On to today. What did we do today? It is a 3-day weekend. If you did not know, the United States is celebrating Labor Day tomorrow, so my work is closed tomorrow. I'm so excited to work on my secret project all day tomorrow. So that is what I'm going to be doing, but because of that, today got to be a little bit slower. I didn't have to cram as much into the day, so I went and saw my horse, jumped her over some fun things, and then Josh and I got a whole dozen donuts, and I just woke up from a 3-hour nap. So that's why we've got the claw clip in. I have been sleeping. Yeah, I did get sunburnt yesterday too also, which getting sunburnt in Kentucky is kind of rough because I'm used to getting sunburnt in Miami. So when I get sunburnt in Kentucky, I get a little butthurt because I'm like, if that's gonna happen to me, I wanted to be on the beach. I should have worn sunscreen and protected myself better. So pro tip, if you're going tailgating, make sure that you prepare correctly. So yeah, that's really it for life updates. Oh, I need to do my announcement. I was gonna do like a fun trailer for this, but I just haven't gotten it together yet. So if you do see a fun trailer pop up on the podcast, and it's like literally the only thing, it will probably be like 30 seconds to a minute long, and it's just like on the podcast feed, I'm probably gonna do that. Heads up, if I can find the right footage, because I'm really picky about it. But drum roll. Josh, my lovely boyfriend, and I are going to be dropping a new podcast September 11th called Haunting My Boyfriend, and it is going to cover ghost stories of all sorts. So I believe in everything except for aliens until the CIA came out with all that stuff, and now I believe in aliens. But Josh doesn't believe in anything except for aliens, so he doesn't believe in ghosts, not very spiritual, doesn't believe in angels or demons or any of that, doesn't believe in mermaids, Bigfoot. So I'm going to be telling him ghost stories and getting his reaction because he is a bit of a character. So if you are interested in a spooky podcast for the season, Haunting My Boyfriend will probably be out September 11th, since that's when everything's going to be done, and it's going to be coming out every single Monday. One episode every single Monday. I know this podcast has 2 episodes a week. Still going to be my main podcast, still going to come out with 2 episodes a week. But 1 episode a week is also going to come up on Haunting My Boyfriend. I'll probably post 3 episodes when we first launch to make sure that there's enough content for you guys to see what's going on. So I'm very, very excited for that. We already have an Instagram. It's called @HauntingMyBoyfriend. I will also post it on probably my not my TikTok, TikTok, on my Instagram story, and it'll be on the announcements highlight reel if you don't miss or don't catch it within the next 24 hours. And then, like I said, there will probably be a trailer or something up. Oh, and I'll also link the Instagram down below. So yeah, I'm really, really excited for that. I love spooky things. They're super like interesting and fun to me, and I can't wait to do that with him and get his reaction. He's already told me some things, and I just like can't wait because I think it's gonna be a fun, funny, spooky time. So yeah, with that being said, let's jump on into the episode. So 2 big things that are happening this month that I tried to like work around for my goals is, first thing is obviously the second podcast launching, and then the second thing is we will be going to Gatlinburg this month, so we'll have a cabin, we'll be there for a couple days, and it's going to be a vibe. So I'm really, really excited for that, to get away. I haven't gone on a vacation that hasn't been a wedding or anything like that in probably 2 years, so I'm very excited. Josh is extremely into cars, so he's going for some car things, and that's going to be really fun. His car is almost ready to go. That has been fun, dealing with all of the logistics around that, or watching him deal with it, because it's not my thing. But getting to see all of that kind of come to fruition and see his excitement has been really cool. So I'm really excited to go. I love Gatlinburg. I've been I think twice in the past, once with Josh and then once on like a family vacation a long time ago. And I always enjoy it. I always enjoy just the little cabin and the vibes, and I'm just really excited. So yeah, those are the 2 things that I planned, kind of my goals for the month around. But I think my overarching goal, which I think anyone else can emphasize, by the way, I don't know if you can hear this or if it's being picked up on the mic. There are crickets going crazy in the tree outside of the window next to me. So if you hear crickets just living their life, I apologize. They have been going off this whole time. Like I was saying, the biggest goal that I have this month, and I think once I kind of master this, everything else will fall into place, is healing myself mentally. It's not that I'm necessarily in a bad place. I think that I've definitely been in a much worse spot. But I do want to work on some things like having self-doubt. I just feel like my default is thinking that I'm not capable of doing things, and that is not a good mindset to have. You want to think about the best case scenario and the best thing possible happening for you, and also thinking that you're capable of doing whatever you set your mind to. So those are things I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be working on eating better so that I can have a healthier mentality and also be healthier from a body standpoint, like a physical standpoint. I went and rode my horse today, like I mentioned, and she is definitely getting into shape. And so to keep up with her, I need to get my butt to the gym. So I need to factor that in as well. I think that one thing I've been really working on is going with the flow and just doing things when I'm feeling called to do them. So I need to somehow find a balance between doing things when I feel like them and I'm feeling like in the flow of life, and doing things because they're gonna get me where I want to be, and meet somewhere in the middle. So for example, I usually post on the animals TikTok, YouTube, and sometimes Instagram every single day, and that's something I've done for years. But recently, I don't think I've posted on there in almost a week, and I've just like been going through a rut where I post and then I won't post for a week, and then I'll post and I won't post for a week, and it really messes with our engagement, like to the point that it's definitely self-sabotage. But I just haven't felt very like called to post, or like in the flow, or felt like excited about it. So I need to somehow find somewhere in between where it's like I'm not sabotaging their progress slash my progress, since I'm the manager behind this whole shindig. But I also need to find somewhere where I'm not like feeling like it's a chore. So that is a very big thing that I'm working on this month in all areas. I've been very excited about the podcast lately, this one specifically. And then I've also been excited to launch the new one because I already have a lot of people that are so excited about it. And just anyone who knows Josh and myself knows that we tend to have really like exciting, kind of funny off the wall conversations. So they're really excited to finally hear that. I know you guys have never heard Josh, maybe like in the background once, but I just feel like this podcast isn't really his vibe. Like, I feel like he wouldn't fit in on here, and like I'm not saying that to be mean. He's the one who brought it up to me because I've tried to get him to be a guest star on here multiple times, and he said things like, that's not my vibe. Like, I'm gonna feel like a fish out of water, and like, he's not exactly wrong. So he may be on here one day, but like, as for now, I get it, but you can hear him on there, and I'm just really excited for that, and I'm feeling very motivated to get that done. Cleaning the house is a huge one. I know that I've been cleaning the house, but the silly goofy thing about having a house is it gets dirty on its own. Like, if you wear clothes, congrats, you have dirty clothes that night. So it's that stuff where it's like upkeeping the dishes and the laundry and the sweeping once a week because of the dogs and anything else that happens. So that's another thing. I know this sounds silly and goofy, but I'm just really focused on finding myself and what I am here to do slash meant for slash passionate about. And I know that may not happen in this month. I'm not putting a deadline on it, but it is something I'm very interested in. So I'm getting back to my roots and doing things that I enjoy, like journaling and reading and makeup and all those fun things. One thing about me is I used to be a beauty guru back in my day. If you go on my personal YouTube, you can see all of the beauty guru content because I never really deleted any of it. It's not that I'm like embarrassed of it or anything like that. I think it's super cool. It's just not something that I continued. I just kind of started doing my own thing. So I don't know. It's super cool, a big part of my life, and I still think it's super fun to do in a creative way when I'm trying to kind of have a creative release of some sort, but I just haven't really been able to do it because I've been so busy. So I'm kind of going back to that. Just all the things that make me feel like myself, because when you don't know what direction to go in, I think it's best to go back to where you started and see what direction you're called towards. One thing I also saw that I really want to try is someone on my Instagram Reels feed said that when they are working through self-doubt, they journal and they journal out the best case scenario that could possibly happen. And I've never heard this before for some, like, I don't know how, I've just never heard it. I feel like I should have, but I haven't. But people were commenting and they were like, dude, the best case scenario is actually happening. I'm getting such good results. I feel so much better. I don't have as much self-doubt. So that's something I really want to try. I think I'm going to do that tonight. And just a couple situations that I'm kind of waiting to see what happens, I'm going to do best case scenario. Like, for example, the podcast and when it launches, this podcast and where it's going, just some best case scenario things, because anything that I've been really doubtful about, I need to switch my perspective on it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm really excited about that. I just feel like I'm practicing not feeling like I'm on a timeline, like time is running out, because I have the tendency to rush through things and try to get them done as soon as possible because I feel like I'm on a timeline. If you hear Josh, I think I just heard him yell. If you hear him yell, he's playing a video game. So he's getting very into it. He's on with his buddies. So if you hear him yell or make any sort of sound, that's why. He's in his studio, which is across the hall from my office, so you would hear him. But anyway, you know, I go back and forth because I have the struggle of feeling like life is so short and there's so many things I want to accomplish, so I kind of feel rushed to do that. But I also feel a rush of like, I want to get married and have kids and do all those things rather young. Like, I want to do it before I'm 30. I want to be done having kids. And I'm 24 now, and I'm not engaged or anything like that. So I think about all the things I want to have accomplished before I get married, which I know is not the healthiest thing, which is why I'm working on throwing out timelines. But I do want to kind of have my career figured out. I want to be financially stable enough that I can pay for my own wedding. And those are some things that I really need to sort out before I can get like any farther in life. So I just like, I've been working on not being so stressed out about a timeline, because when that happens is kind of up to life, you know? Like, I can't just, obviously if I could snap my fingers and be financially stable, I would have done that by now. So I'm just waiting for life to kind of step in and do its own thing so that everything falls into place and I'm doing all my things. So I've been working on just not feeling rushed and not feeling like I have to have everything figured out tomorrow. And like I mentioned, do you remember in the last episode when I was talking about the full moon and how I felt like cycle was coming to an end and something new was going to happen soon? I definitely still believe that, and I think I have a hunch of a couple things that could be, but nothing has like totally come to fruition yet. So I will, depending on how personal it is, I'll tell you what it is when I know. But some things did kind of come into fruition and I was like, okay, that's what I've been feeling. But with that feeling, I got that calmness of like not feeling like I need to rush. And we are in Mercury retrograde, so you're not supposed to rush into anything right now anyway. But I've been feeling like I don't need to rush, like everything's gonna work out. I just need to keep doing what I'm doing. So in that mindset, I also need to find the motivation to get done the things that I have to be motivated to do, but I've been pushing off because I don't feel like that sense of urgency to get them done. So that's, yeah, I when I first started this podcast, I had the mindset that I could change my entire life in one night. And while I think that's possible for some people, and I do think it's possible for me, I think that I struggle so much when I put so much on my plate and I get overwhelmed with it, that I'm more likely to change my life if I implement little changes over time. So things like going to the gym is one way that I can start getting healthy. And instead of saying, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to eat healthier, I'm never going to eat out again, I'm going to cut everything out of my diet, I'm going to go to bed by 8 p.m., I'm going to be up by 6 a.m. Like, instead of cutting all of that out at the same time because it's a new month and I want to be healthy this month, I'm going to start by saying, okay, I'm going to go to the gym 2 times a week and then go from there. And I'm going to try and eat healthier, but I'm not going to be mad or upset with myself if I eat pizza. We're waiting on a pizza to get here right now. And I think that that's growth. Like, when I first started this, I would get so upset with myself if I set all these goals and I said on the podcast, hey, I'm going to do this, and this month, and then I didn't follow through with them. But sometimes it's just not feasible for you based on your schedule and all the other things you have going on. Also, your personality may not respond best to that way. Some people, their personality responds really well to switching their entire world up when they say so, like at the drop of a hat. But for me, I don't respond well to change at all. I get very, very overwhelmed, stressed out, and I kind of mourn the loss of what was when change happens. So I need to be a little bit slower with new things. I need to kind of ease my way into them. I need to slowly bring them in, because if I didn't change anything, I would still be overwhelmed by all the things on my plate. So I need to do slow changes that are kind of not going to overwhelm me so much so, and they just naturally fit into what I'm doing, because that is what works best for me. So that is what I'm going to be working on. I think that's pretty much everything on my big list. Oh, the pizza's almost here. Let me double check my vision board, which I'll try to get up tonight, but it probably won't be up until tomorrow if I'm being realistic. I am going to try and curl my hair more and like look more presentable, because I usually wear like a sweatshirt and jeans, and while there's nothing wrong with that, I feel way more confident when I get dressed. I'm going to try and see my horse more. I'm just going to invest in myself and my mentality more. So whatever that means, if that means crafting, if that means reading, if that means curling my hair, that's what I'm going to be focusing on. So I think that is pretty much it for this episode. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, leave a rating or review on the podcast. It takes about 2 seconds and changes my life, and I'm not even exaggerating. When you leave a rating, so many more people see the podcast. I don't know how it works. I don't know the logistics behind it, but that is what I've noticed, and I would love for you to support my small little podcast by doing that. Don't forget to follow on whatever platform you're listening on. It helps out the podcast so much, and you get to join a community of girlies who are working to become the best version of ourselves. All of my links for my personal as well as the podcast are down below. I will add the Haunting My Boyfriend link down below. You can follow us on Instagram. That's where you will get the latest updates on what's going on, what episodes are dropping, and all of that fun stuff. I think that's pretty much it. I upload every single Wednesday and Sunday. If you're watching this on the Sunday that it comes out, I hope you have a great night. If you're watching this any other day, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or night. Have a great Labor Day weekend if you're in the US and you are celebrating in some way. But I love you so much, and I'll see you in my next podcast episode. Bye, guys.